Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out the new V-63 laser carbine, so let's crack on with it. So let's talk really quickly about how to acquire this beautiful weapon. So first of all, you're going to have to do not the V-63, Vault 63 story, the main story, which will primarily be given over here. Once you've completed that, there's going to be two people you got to talk to there. There's a whole quest line there. It's going to take you an hour or two, maybe three, depending on how quickly you want to blast through it. Once you've completed that, then you're going to have to acquire Theodore here in your milepost outpost. So once you've acquired Theodore, you're then going to have to get him to the next tier. So if you're not sure how to get a individual to the next tier, first of all, you're going to have some supplies in your pocket. Once you have those, then you'll be able to see certain options. So if we go here and we can look here, we could really do with some extra hands around the place. Not that one. I'd like to give my employees some more resources. So we're going to go with the third option. And you can see here, I have the option here for Josie. I can get her to tier 2. So let's do that. Might as well. And you're going to basically do that for Theodore. It's going to cost you 250 supplies. Once you've completed all that, then you can talk to Theodore. You're going to conversate with him and basically prompt him into telling you about some of his life, some of the things that he did, and then the projects that he worked on. And that should eventually lead you into getting the quest to acquire the laser. Now, I'm not sure if this is still going on, if this is fixed, or if this is true, but there are rumors that if you get the laser carbine, because you will have to craft one for the quest, once you get one and you do the turn-in, people are saying they've had issues turning in the quest or coming back to Theodore and talking to him. So make sure that you don't have that the laser in your pocket, otherwise you won't get the quest rewards. I don't know how true that is. I personally followed along just in case, but yeah. So let's talk about crafting. So the weapon, once you've acquired it and you've bought the modifications from Theodore, they're going to cost you some caps, a few thousand, so make sure you have that. And you will find it in energy guns. For me, it's right at the bottom. It's not going to require any cards to craft. You can actually craft this weapon as low as level 10, which is absolutely beautiful. Especially if you have managed to acquire this weapon system, you can give it to new players or maybe a friend if they wanted to give it a go and enjoy it. So you can craft it all the way up to level 50, obviously. And now let's have a look at the modifications. So I have one here, and this is the one that I will be using today. This is a bloodied variant with 50% critical damage and minus 25% action point cost. I want to change my 2-star, the vital, for faster fire rate or rapid, however you want to call it, because I just feel like that will work better for me personally. But 50% critical damage for now, I can live with. It definitely could be worse. So let's have a look at some of the modifications here. So this gun comes with a new mechanic. It's basically got a heat mechanic that builds up heat, and as the heat builds up, it inflicts more damage. So that heat mechanic I'm talking about, the information is on the wiki page, and I'll link the wiki page down in the description below if you're interested in checking it out yourself. As it states here, to this end, heat generated by the production of lasers is utilized to amplify the damage as it continues firing, up to a 100% additive damage boost over the unheated damage at 75% heat. So we have the cyclic capacitor, which reduces the overclock rate by 0.5, but it also increases the capacity by 30 and the fire rate by 23 because I'm personally using the overclocked capacitor. The reason I'm using the overclocked capacitor is because it increases the damage I do with the weapon by 11. So you could get one that gives it fire rate if you wanted to. Where is that? It is this one, yeah. I was looking at the bottom to see if there was something that says fire rate. But yeah, the first one gives you the fire rate if you wanted the extra fire rate. I went with damage because this thing for VATS, like in my personal humble opinion, I just don't think that the damage is in VATS. The AP cost is just, I don't know. It's it definitely could be lower in AP cost. That's what I'm saying. It's pretty high. It's pretty high, and I have minus 25% action point cost on mine, so 28 AP cost is something. But either way, that's how you craft that weapon, and those are the modifications. Now you can put a stock on it, but there is not many options in my personal opinion, and it really depends on what you're doing. Maybe you are a power armor user and you want to try out some of these other ones, but the one I went with is forceful stock because it basically reduces AP cost by 2. So it was the only reason I put the forceful stock on there, pretty much in a nutshell. So real quick, we'll touch on the ammo. It does use fusion cells, and fusion cells in my opinion can be a little expensive to craft. Especially if you are a new player. It's going to require some copper for lead 8 and plastic 4. So if you are having some troubles keeping up with the fairly expensive cost of these fusion cells, especially with the rate that this thing just blasts through them, I highly recommend having a look at some daily ops, daily ops, pretty much just farming some daily ops. If you can get a Tesla rifle as well, especially if they're grouped up, you can get multiple kills with just, not one or two shells, but with the same ammunition. You can sort of spread what the damage across, and try and get multiple kills like that. Or you can just use this weapon if you've got a really high damage one. Basically, you want to get something that deals with stuff and you are ammo positive. I personally like to use the Tesla. Now, the performance of the weapon. Now, you can get some pretty insane builds out there specifically designed for this weapon. I've just using the same build that I use with all the weapons just to get a nice baseline, and it's a generalized build that I normally always use. So you can get a lot more damage than I'm going to be producing, but at the same time, I have a sort of flat bar for comparison. So real quick, the recoil is non-existent, and the spread of the bullets is actually pretty minimal, but you can see that it does start to bloom up the more you fire, and you can notice there that the barrel, as the bar heats up, does heat up. So you can sort of get a visual idea of the heat up mechanic happening there. So I am using a full set of unyielding, just basic vegetable food that you can grow in your own back garden, and that is pretty much it. Let's crack on with slaying some mutants over at West Tech Research Center. Okay, so 422 base shot, 705 there. Come on, come here. 438, 438, 641. And this is just base. This is this is just the base level of this weapon here. I love it. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I love it. It just does so much damage. In fact, it's kind of hard for me to... Sorry, I'm trying not to burp on the camera. It's kind of hard for me to build up the things because everything dies so fast. And this is obviously just normal mobs. If I go fight some sort of mini boss sort of creatures, and there are very vast amounts of them. Come on, I see. Okay, let's do this. Some fusion cells in there actually I need. Don't mind me, gotta loot. Okay, so we pretty much dealt with that, no problem whatsoever. Let's head inside and see what we can do. So we're inside Westech, and I am going to quickly pop myself a berry. Mentat. Oops. Well, take two of them. just to give myself a little bit more stats. So here we go now. We're gonna go in and see what we can do. So that was 425 into 700 and something or other. I'll take my time on this guy. 429, 660. Oh yes, look, and that's one of the effects of the weapon when he explodes. Please don't kill me. Oh, why are you harder to kill than a super mutant? So pretty much just two taps him. Absolutely just two taps him. But you can see that the AP for me is going down fairly quickly, and I do have quite a bit of AP. At least I would like to think I do. See you over there. Hello. So let me see if I can charge this up a bit and then fire on him. Okay, that didn't really showcase anything, did it? Yeah, this weapon is pretty good. That's all I'm saying. Like, those two taps there. And that's what I mean. Like, I was trying to get as much damage as I possibly can out of the weapon to make use of this. I mean, it just shreds these guys. Now, if I can get 25% faster fire rate, that would also be really nice, especially for prolonged fights, maybe like an Earl or something, or some sort of world boss. That will allow me to basically build up the damage even faster. But you can just see how just blowing through this place. Like, I could totally do this and make a little bit of decent XP. I mean, it's not going to be like throwing grenades or anything, but... And the amount of ammo that it has, you can just clear out the whole place pretty much without having to reload, which is pretty insane if you think about it. So like I said earlier, using the Tesla in a daily ops to get ammo with this damage, maybe this might be also a pretty good shout, because this thing is just tearing them up. Just tearing them up. I do love that fire effect that you get when you finish something off. Oh my gosh. Just looks so cool. Just looks so cool. Right, I'm having too much fun here. Please don't kill me while I'm doing this. Oh, he's behind here. Okay, we continue. No! Bugger. He came in, shot me, distracted me for his brethren to escape the wrath of the V-63 Carbine laser. It's just insane. It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty fun. And this is just my normal build. I'm pretty sure there are builds out there that get more use out of this than what I'm doing. Oh my, don't punch me. What I'm getting here. That guy's got head protection, took I think 3. Unless that was just a lag shot. Just insane. I am pretty squished, but at the rate that this thing is clearing them up, it just does not matter. Another one. Here comes another one. Okay. Just gotta loot up. Just trying to keep my ammo up, to be honest. I do need to go craft a bit more. I'm down to like 8k or something ammo. Either way. Just a couple more here, but I think you guys get the gist. This thing is really good. The only downside is that AP cost. The AP cost per bullet. I mean, you are hitting like a freight train, but at the same time, it is pretty high. So just real quick for that VATS cost, this is a railway rifle, and the AP cost per piece of wood, whatever it is 13. And if I have a look at my weapon here, the V-63 laser carbine, it is 28 with minus 25% action point cost. So it is really expensive on AP. And that's going to conclude this video. Cheers all for joining me for this. I know I was late posting this one out. Me and my wife, we had a lovely anniversary together. It was our first one, and we are long distance, so it was pretty special for me, and I wanted to make sure I give her all the time. But now that that's out the way, we're going to be back to making content. She's working on my shorts. She does the scripts, she does everything, the audio, everything like that. So if you see any shorts, it's pretty much all her doing. And I'll be doing these larger videos as well as streaming. So definitely check me out on Mr. Glotch on Twitch, and I will also be streaming on YouTube as well. I've been doing some Deadlock, Fallout, Ark, Survival Evolved, maybe even some No Man's Sky in the future, various different games, X4 Foundations, across the board, just many different games. If you are interested, definitely check that out. Either way, cheers all for joining me. Thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one.